Good morning, children. I hope all of you are fine. So let's see what are we going to read today. We are going to begin with chapter 7 and the name of the chapter is adjectives. Okay, when I read the word or when I hear adjective, what should come in my mind? So you all have already studied about adjectives and you know what does that means. But then whenever we are reading something, one thing should be sure that anytime if anyone asks me that topic, I should be able to answer that. The same goes with the adjectives. So basically, adjective is a word that tells us more about a noun or a pronoun. When we read a sentence and regarding the noun I get to know more about it, then it is said to be as my adjective. Let's have a look on the example. He is a bad boy. Here, what is my noun? Boy is my noun. And what is then bad? Next example. He is a kind and helpful boy. Again, boy is a noun. And what is kind and helpful? That is what we are going to read, children. What is bad? What is kind and helpful? When a word that tells us more about the noun, then it is said to be as adjective. Can you see, children? Here I get to know about the boy that he is bad. So definitely here my bad is adjective. In the second sentence, as I can see, boy is the noun, and what more I can know about the noun? That is the word which tells us more about the boy, like he is kind, he is helpful, isn't it? So these words are said to be as my adjectives. So that's what the whole chapter is all about. So when I read adjective, as I told you, we have to remember that it is a word that tells us more about a noun or a pronoun. For example, this story is more interesting than I expected it to be. Okay, here my noun is story and I am getting to know more about it from the word interesting, more interesting. So more interesting becomes my adjective. Next come, the grass is always greener on the other side. So greener is telling more regarding the grass. So here my word greener is the adjective. And the third example is she is intelligent and takes an interest in chess. So here comes the word intelligent, which is my adjective and telling more about the pronoun she. Okay, let's have a look on the types of adjectives. How many types are there? What are they? Each one of them will go one by one. Let's have a look. The first type of adjective is proper adjective. The second is adjectives of quality. Third comes adjective of quantity. Fourth one is adjective of number. Fifth, possessive adjectives. Sixth, interrogative. Seventh, demonstrative. And eighth is distributive. So today we will try to cover all these points in this video. Okay, all the adjectives will go one by one so that things are more clearer to you with the examples. The first is my proper adjective. Proper. When I hear the word proper adjective, only one thing should come in my mind, the adjective that is formed from the proper noun. Whenever my adjective is formed of the proper noun, then it is said to be as my proper adjectives. It is a proper noun, but then it is telling me more about the noun or the pronoun, then it is said to be my proper adjective. Let's have a look at the example. The Gangetic plain is very fertile. Here my noun is plain, isn't it? And Gangetic is a place like thing, like it is a proper noun to that, but it is giving me more idea regarding the plain. So this is my proper adjective. The same goes with the second example. Swiss chocolate is famous throughout the world. Okay, when I read here, my noun is chocolate, definitely. Plus, one thing which I need to remember, that the proper noun Swiss is helping my noun and is used to describe my noun. So, definitely it is said to be as my proper adjective. There are many such examples as well you can find. The next type is adjective of quality. Whenever there is a noun and the adjective is telling of what kind it is or of what quality it is made, then it is said to be as my adjective of quality, when it tells about the quality a noun has. Or when I ask the question what kind to the noun, when I ask the question what kind to the noun in a sentence, if there is a noun and I ask the question what kind, then I get the answer, that is my adjective of quality. So let's have a look at the example first. The Pearl Mosque is a majestic building. What kind of building? Majestic building. So here I got my adjective of quality. It is giving the qualities of the noun building. The next come, the honest citizen was rewarded by the grateful king. Here both my honest as well as my grateful, both are my adjective of quality. When I ask what kind of citizen, I get the answer honest. The second one, what kind of king? Grateful king. So children, always remember regarding adjective of quality, always ask the question what kind, then you get the answer, that is my adjective of quality. I hope this will help you. Heavy rain is expected in the evening. Again, if I ask what kind of rain? Heavy rain. One more example, she is wearing a beautiful gown. What kind of gown? Beautiful gown. The one thing you need to remember is always ask what kind. When you get the answer what kind, then it is definitely adjective of quality. Let's go to adjective of quantity. How much? Okay, how much the thing is. Okay, being referred to. Whatever my thing is being referred to, I get how much of that thing is referred to. Okay. But here we need not, this is basically used in uncountable nouns. Okay, we will not find in countable one. Regarding countable, I'll let you know in the adjective of numbers, but in quantity always remember children that it is used with uncountable nouns. Things which cannot be counted, there will be using adjective of quantity. Like here, we'll have a look at the example, then things will be more clearer to you. He has little intelligence. How much intelligence? Little. So here let me write this one, how much. Each question I'll just ask the question how much, then I'll get the answer as my adjective of quantity. But children, always remember, here we are referring only to uncountable nouns. Please remember this fact. Okay, so the next example is, she did not eat any food. How much food? Any food. So this is, any is my adjective of quantity. Next example, give me some milk. How much milk? Some. But I don't know the quantity. So I don't know the number, like they have not mentioned me that the measurement. So there we are using adjective of quantity. There is enough juice for my breakfast. Here also the same thing children. How much juice? Enough juice. Let's come to number 4 types, that is adjective of number. Here the thing is definitely made clear how many. Okay, the thing is definitely made clear regarding how many person or things are being referred to, or if I am referring to their position, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, then also definitely it will be referred to as my adjective of number. Okay, so the definition here is, adjectives of number show how many person or things are being referred to, or in what order a person or thing stands. Okay, so these two things you need to remember, how many person or things, or in what order a person or thing stands. Let's have a look at the example. There are no pictures in this book. Okay, one more thing, this is basically referred when the things are countable. Whenever my noun is countable, then definitely we are going to use adjective of number. Here no is considered to be as my adjective of number. The second example is, Sunday is the first day of the week. As I told you earlier that we are regarding the order, I told that if it is mentioning me the order of the person or things, then definitely that is said to be as my adjective of number. The third example is, she is 10 years old. Here definitely the number is used, so there would be no problem regarding number. You can just have a look and the answer will be clear to you. Number 5, The fifth type is possessive adjective. Okay, children, always remember what does possessive means. Possessive means I am possessing something. That means that thing is mine. It is my belonging. Yes, right now you are holding your phone. So this is your possession right now. That is your belonging. So let's see what is the definition. Possessive adjective shows belonging or possession. Keep inside your head, children, this line. Possessive adjective shows belonging or possession. Suppose some things are of some person, then I'll definitely use the possessive adjective like his, your, our, her. These all are considered to be my possessive adjectives. Huh. Earlier we also read regarding the possessive pronoun and possessive adjective. In the previous video I have already told you the difference between possessive adjective and pronoun. But let me just remind you, whenever we are considering possessive pronoun, we'll find that in possessive pronoun the word is replacing the noun. Whereas in possessive adjective it isn't replacing the thing. After the possessive adjective a noun will be following it. Okay, उसके पीछे just exactly मेरा noun रहेगा. Same here, as you can see in the example, children. Here, have a look. His watch is expensive. This is my possessive adjective and the noun is following it. Okay. Is this your coat? This is again my possessive adjective and the coat is my noun following the adjective. As it was very much clear regarding in the very first also, that you will have the noun following the possessive adjective. This is their house. Again, the possessive adjective is used and the word is there. Let's see the next one. Next is interrogative. This is very easy, children. Like regarding a question, whenever we are asking any kind of question, then interrogative is used. But when we consider interrogative adjective, that we need to remember here again, same like I said in the possessive adjective, the same goes here with the interrogative adjective, that here my noun will be following the interrogative adjective. But whereas in interrogative pronoun, it was taking the place of the noun. Only simple thing that you need to remember, nothing much here. Yes, this one you have to remember. Interrogative adjective are used to ask question. When I am asking a question, then interrogative adjectives are used. Let's have a look at the example. Whose pen is this? Again here, this is my question. Okay, question, and then I am finding there is a noun following it. Okay, which road leads to the new town? Again I'm asking the question, which, so again it is followed by a noun. What dress are you wearing? Again a noun is followed after interrogative adjective. The next one is demonstrative, isn't it? It is demonstrative. You can find it in your page number 44. Okay, demonstrative adjective, when I want to point out at something, it can be a person, it can be a thing, then it is said to be as my demonstrative adjective. Like this, these, that, those. When the things are very near to me, when the things are near to me, then I'm using this or these. But suppose the thing which I'm referring to is little far away from me, then I'll be using that and those. I hope that is clear. After that, regarding singular and plural, if I'm referring to a thing which is a single thing, okay, one thing only I'm referring, then I'll be using this and that. When I'm regarding the singular part, when we are talking about, we'll be using this and that. Let me clear the screen so that it is very much visible to you. This, that. This, that. This is for my singular. Okay, when one boy, one girl, or regarding that, okay, singular thing I refer, then we will use this and that. But suppose if I'm using more than one person, like more than one person, then it is said, then I'll be using these, those. Okay, this will be for near things, like things which are very near to me right now, those things which are very little far away from me. Okay, let's have a look at the example. Those girls play for the school team. Definitely those will be my demonstrative adjective, since girls, which is my noun, is following that word. Okay, next come this girl is smart. Here again we'll find that this is my demonstrative adjective followed by a noun. Give me that book. Again, I got to know that that is my demonstrative adjective, which is followed by a noun. Can you hold these bags? Yes, these. Okay, considering plural. But these are my demonstrative adjective, which is followed by a noun. What is my noun here, children? It is bag. Okay, let's go to the next adjective. The next adjective is distributive adjective. Distributive. Okay, when I read the word distributive, what comes in my mind? Okay, one thing only should come, children. Suppose it is your birthday. You are going to distribute sweets in the class. What you are going to do? You are going to give each and every children, isn't it? You will give to your friends also. You'll give to your neighbor class. You'll give to your teachers. Everyone you will distribute. So that's what distributive adjective means. It refers to each person or thing in a group. When we are considering a group, when we are referring to each and every person in that group, then it is said to be as my distributive adjective. The words which comes under distributive adjectives are each, every, neither, both. Okay, let's have a look at the examples. Every child has to attend the summer camp. Here, whatever the group of children are there, they are considering it compulsory. We are referring to each person. Okay, every. So here my distributive adjective is every. Each house has two balconies. Again I got to refer each person. So again, each is my distributive adjective followed by the noun. One more example I can give. Neither of them got the majority. Both of them are in the room. These all can also be there. So this is my nouns used as adjectives. Okay, there are some places where common nouns are often used as adjective. The common nouns are describing more about the noun. Then it is used as adjectives. Like, we'll have a look at the examples. I met an island boy. Here boy is my noun, and regarding the island is my common noun, and it is describing more about the boy. So here my common noun is used as an adjective. She bought a silk dress. Here also silk is used as my adjective describing the dress. Next, come to page number 45, order of adjective. Okay, till now we have read regarding only one adjective. If in a sentence there is one adjective, we know that the place is before the noun. Okay, whenever we have one adjective, we know that the adjective is placed before my noun. What about there are many adjectives then? If I want to describe something very much, if I'm using so many adjectives at a time, is there any sequence? Yes, there is a sequence. That's what order of adjective means. Here we will read that how the adjectives are placed. There is some order that we need to follow. It cannot be like in a haphazard manner. There is some rules, there is a table basically that you have to learn it. Then only you will be able to do order of adjectives. Okay, let's have a look. The old brown paper bag lay on the floor. Okay, so which is the correct statement? I got two statements. Definitely old brown paper bag will be my correct statement, rather than paper old brown bag won't be my correct statement. Why? Because in this statement, these adjectives are not in order. As a result, this statement is not correct. Okay, so till now madam didn't tell me what is order of adjective. So let's read about order of adjective. So there are many a times when we find in a sentence that there is more than one or more than even two. There are many adjectives in a sentence. So there a particular order need to be followed. Same goes with the second example also. Let's have a look. I am looking for a big green, red and white umbrella. Here colors can be arranged in any manner, but the words like big, when I am referring to size and color, there is a pattern, there is a order. In the second sentence, it is definitely wrong. Okay, So there is a particular order that needs to be followed. So let's see what is that particular order. Yes, this is my order. This table shows here in this table, children, this is the only table that you have to learn it. You have to mug it up. Okay, just thoroughly go through this table and try to learn the things. Let me be clear how the things can be done easily. The first come the order is determiner. Okay, now you'll ask me, ma'am, what is determiner? Determiners are and, either. These words are considered to be my determiner. Next come quantity. When I tell something regarding the number, then quantity is referred. What is referred? Quantity. So my second number order is quantity. The third is quality. Quality or opinion. What is your opinion regarding something? Okay, then that will be in the third order. Quality or opinion, like expensive, majestic, tall. Okay, the third is completed. Fourth comes size, long, short, tall, like that. This comes the fourth one. Fifth is age, antique, old, new. In this manner, if age is mentioned in a sentence, definitely it will follow this order. Next comes shape, circular, triangular, square, cubicle. In that manner, if in a sentence we are using it, then it will come under which part? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll be placing it in the sixth position. Next comes color. In the color, you can mention the colors. Origin, of what origin? Chinese, Indian. Okay, like that. Material, of what material the product or the noun is made up of. If it is mentioned in the sentence, then we will be using material. Qualifier, what the noun is doing, qualifying, that is what is qualifier, like here walking. And the last, as we all know, adjective is followed by a noun, so definitely I'll be having the noun. As you can see in the first sentence, an antique blue Chinese ceramic plate, a sturdy long black wooden walking stick, the two expensive silk stalls. So if I get these words jumbled, okay, then you have to arrange them in this order. This order needs to be learned, like determiner, quantity, quality, size, age, shape, color, origin, material, qualifier, determiner, quantity, quality, size, age, shape, color, origin, material, qualifier. In this manner, if you sing like a song, it may be inside, it will get easily inside your head. This is what I used to do. You can also do the same if you wish so. Okay, let's go to the next one. The next is in page 46, comparison. Okay, when I read comparison, what comes in my mind? There are so many children in a class. Some are good in drawing, some are good in studies, some are good in sports. So if I make a comparison between two kids, it can be like some can be good in, then we are comparing the things, isn't it? So in adjective also there are some comparative degrees. Let's have a look. Adjectives do not only show the qualities of a noun but also to what degree the noun possesses that quality. So till now I told you that children, adjective means that it tells us more about the quality. But do you know, it tells at what degree it is possessing the quality, at what degree it is possessing the quality. I know you all have already learned regarding the positive, comparative, superlative degree. So here I am considering them. Okay, that's what we are going to read here. For example, Charlie is a clever student. Okay, here it is a positive degree because there is no comparison made. Jack is cleverer than Charlie. Here two person we are considering and we are comparing them, isn't it? We are comparing Jack and Charlie. So this is my comparative degree. The third one is Tina is the cleverest student of all. Here it is compared, but the highest degree is given to the Tina. So definitely this is my superlative degree. That's what I said, that clever refers to the quality what Charlie is having, which is my positive basically. positive degree. Next comes the comparative, when there is a comparison made between Charlie and Jack, and there we got to know that Jack is having more clever quality than Charlie. The third one is when Tina has the most compared to other students in the class. One more thing that we always have to remember, children, this point, that an adjective superlative degree always has the article the. Whenever I am having a superlative degree, you will always find the there. Isn't it? In this sentence also, here it was my superlative. I could find the there, and that we have to remember it always and forever. Now let's see what are those three degrees, comparative degrees. The first, second and the third one. So my first degree is positive degree, second is comparative, and the third is superlative. So let's read about one by one about each degree. The first one is my positive degree. Okay, when my adjective is in its simplest form. Okay, that we need to remember, when my adjective is in simplest form and no comparison is made. No comparison is made. Then it is said to be my positive degree. Simplest form, no comparison. Then it is said to be my positive degree. Let's have a look at the example. This is a good watch. Diamond is a precious stone. Here, no, I'm not comparing those things with other. The noun is not compared with the others. In the comparative degree, definitely two things are compared. Okay, and here we get to know that one is either higher or lower in quality than the other, and comparison is made. That's all you need to know. So let's read the definition. When two things are compared, the comparative degree is used to show a higher or lower degree of the quality than the positive. In the positive, we definitely didn't show any kind of comparison because only one thing was referred there, whereas in comparative degree we are considering two things and either one of them can be good. Kunal's watch is better than your watch. So yes, here we are comparing two things and we got to know that one person has got higher degree of quality than the other. The next example, that a diamond ring is more precious than a gold ring. Here also two things are compared. What are those two things, children? Diamond ring and gold ring. And what we got to know, definitely my diamond ring will be more precious. So here more higher degree of quality is given to diamond ring rather than the gold ring. Let's come to the third one. Superlative degree. Superlative degree. Okay, when more than two things are compared. Suppose I am considering the whole class and I am considering one topper there. Okay, so definitely the topper is the best among all of the students. So then it is said to be my superlative degree, because it will show me the highest or the lowest degree. It can be the highest or it can be the lowest. So regarding the previous examples, let's have a look. This is the best watch I have ever used. Diamond is the most precious of all stone. Here best is my superlative adjective and most precious is my superlative adjective. Okay. Yes, this is the best watch. Okay, one grammar bite. This is very important, children. Usually I find many people make mistake in this. Okay, these adjectives, what are the adjectives? Superior, inferior, senior, junior or prior. Okay, when I use these five words in any of these adjectives, okay, they do not have any kind of positive or superlative degree. They'll always follow a comparative degree, and instead of than I'll be using to. Like if I write the adjective superior, so it will be a comparative degree only, but instead of than I will not use than after that. Instead I'll be using superior to. Or if my word is inferior, so I'll be using inferior to. If it is senior, he is senior to me, he is junior to me, he is prior to, like that. In that manner you can consider that here we'll be using to after that. The second one, yes, here these words like interior, exterior, major, minor, ulterior, these 5 words, again they are used as positive degree. Here what they told me, they are used as comparative. Here these words are used as positive. Okay, they cannot be used as either comparative or superlative degree. These are always used as positive degree. That we need to keep in our mind. The next come forming degrees of comparison. Forming degrees of comparison. This I haven't taught yet, but still maybe there would be some voice problem in the online, so let me just begin here so that even if you cannot hear in the class, you can watch the video and understand the thing. Okay, before beginning, let me tell you syllable. I hope you all know what the syllable means. Syllable means when I speak a word, there is no gapping, there is no pause in between, like high, deep. Am I taking any pause when I speak these words? No. So these are my single or one syllable. This is my one syllable. But suppose if I take words like confused. So here, am I not taking a break after confused? There was some little bit pause. So this is my more than one syllable, 2 syllable you can say. Okay, so this is what syllable means. While speaking, if there is some gap or while there is some pause in the middle of the word, that is considered to be syllable. If there is no such gap, it is having one syllable. If there is gap, then accordingly one by one it is considered there. So why we are reading regarding syllable? First point, forming degrees of comparison. Suppose if I got a positive degree word, okay, positive form of one adjective, and I am thinking that how to change it to comparative. If this is my positive degree adjective, my brain is saying that I want to change it to comparative degree. Okay, one thing for sure you need to remember regarding syllable. If it is one syllable, okay, if it is one syllable, what you are going to do, you are just going to add er. What you are going to do, you are just going to add er. Then simply it becomes comparative degree. This is my first point. I hope it is clear. Once again I am repeating that if my adjective is having one syllable, and if I want to change it, that positive form, to the comparative degree, I'll simply add er. Now suppose if I had one word syllable, and now my brain is saying that instead of comparative, what I can do, I want to change it to superlative. What I'll do now? What I'll do, children? Now what I'll do, this is my positive, I want to change it to superlative. What I'll do, this is my third point, I'll add est. So simply it will become highest. So one and third point are definitely similar, so that it will be easy for you to understand. So let me write it in a single form. Suppose my word is in positive form having one syllable. My adjective is having one syllable in positive form. I'll simply add er to it such that it becomes my comparative degree. Okay. But if I want to change it to superlative, I'll add est. So it will change to highest, and which is my superlative degree. So this thing you need to remember. Now let's jump to if my word is having more than one syllable. Suppose my word is having more than one syllable. For example, beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. So if my word is having more than one syllable, what am I going to do? This is my positive degree. So when I want to change it to comparative, I want to change it to comparative. What I'll do? I'll add more. before that I'll be adding more. So when I add more, it becomes more beautiful, and the word get changed to comparative degree. The same goes with if I'm having two syllable word or more than one syllable word, and I want that positive degree to change it to superlative degree, then I'll add most. Then the word becomes most beautiful and it gets changed to superlative degree. Okay, this is what is this. These are easy, children. These are not that tough. These 4 points you have to remember, and it's very easy. Depends, sometimes we can use most or we can use least depending on the sentence, children. Okay, number 5 point, which is very important and you need to remember this for your whole lifetime. Suppose my adjective is ending with y. Okay, my adjective, this is my adjective and it is ending with y. So what I'll do, I want to change it to comparative and superlative. So what I'll do, I'll just cancel y, and what I'll add, IER, IER, or I'll be adding IEST. So let's see what the word becomes. Suppose I add IER, it becomes tinier, TINIER, tinier. And if I add IEST, it becomes TINIEST. So this is my comparative degree, this is my superlative degree. So always remember, when my adjective is ending with y, only one thing can be done. We have to remove y and we have to add IER or IEST in order to make it comparative or superlative. Let's have a look at one more example so that things are more clearer to you. Like if I take the word silly, children, you tell me, what should I do? It is ending with y, my teacher told me cut it, write IER, or you just put IEST. So what the word will become? My word will become sillier, SILLIER, or it will become silliest, SILLIEST. So I got to know this was my positive degree. Now I'm adding IER, so it became my comparative degree, and this one is my superlative degree. Practice more, things will be more clearer to you. The next one is, if suppose my adjective is ending with E. If suppose my adjective is ending with E. Like here in the book it is given safe, SAFE. It is ending with E. So what I'll do, only there is two options. The first one is for comparative degree, the second is for superlative degree. This is my positive degree, isn't it? For comparative, what you are going to do, just add R. For superlative, just add ST. So what my word will become then? It will become safer and safest, isn't it? So here we got to know, suppose my adjective is ending with what, children? My adjective is ending with E. Suppose my adjective is ending with E, only two things we need to do. I'll be either adding R or ST depending on the situation. If in the question it is asked me comparative, I will be adding R to the sentence, or if they are asking me for superlative degree, I'll be adding ST there. Please have a look, or if you wish you can take the screenshot, things will be more clearer to you. This thing you need to remember, if E is there, then we'll be adding R, or if we want to change it to superlative, we'll be adding ST. The same goes with, it will become safer and it will become safest. Yes, so let's go to the next point, number 7 point. So here, children, in the 7th point, When an adjective of one syllable ends with consonant preceded by a short vowel, the end consonant is doubled before adding er or est. अब किसी को समझ नहीं आया, इतने सारे डिफिकल्ट वर्ड्स थे एक ही सेंटेंस में. So let me tell you in an easy manner, when I read adjective of one syllable, okay, even if it is ending with a consonant, consonant का मतलब वॉवेल्स को छोड़ के जितने अल्फ़ाबेट्स है वो कॉन्सोनेंट, बट उसके आगे एक वॉवेल है. ओके, सपोज माई वर्ड इज़ रेड, ठीक है, इट इज़ एंडिंग विथ अ कॉन्सोनेंट जो कि वॉवेल नहीं है, तो डेफिनेटली डी इज़ नॉट अ वॉवेल, सो डेफिनेटली इट इज़ अ कॉन्सोनेंट. बट उसके आगे बिफोर दैट द अल्फ़ाबेट इज़ अ वॉवेल, शॉर्ट वॉवेल. अब how I'll change this? There is a rule regarding this. There is a rule regarding this. So this is my positive degree if I want to change it to comparative or superlative. Suppose I want to change it to comparative. Always remember children, this part will be doubled. This part will be doubled. D will be doubled. That's what I want to tell you, which is very important for you. So, and simply we will be adding er in comparative or est in superlative. So my word become what? Teacher told me D is there, before that a vowel is there, so definitely I'll double it, and if I put er, it becomes my comparative degree. Again, if I want to change it to superlative, what I'll do children? My teacher told me double the word and add est. Yes, then it becomes superlative degree. Let's have a look with one more example so the things become more clearer to you. Suppose my word is sad. Again, my teacher told me if it is ending with a consonant which is having a vowel at its front, what I'll do? There are only two options. The first is er, the second is est. But when I'm changing it, I have to double the last alphabet. Sadder, saddest. Yes, only you need to remember the rules children. If the rules are clearer to you, this chapter is very easy for you. So here what I have done, I have changed this to comparative and this one to superlative. And what is this? This is my positive degree. Yes. And the last rule of forming this one is the last rule. Let's have a look children. This one is very important because they don't follow any rules, but there are some adjectives which do not follow any kind of rules regarding forming of comparative or adjective. No rules for them. Like many a times we are using no good, better, best. Is it following any kind of rules? Are we adding er, are we adding est, or we are doubling the fact, or any other things which we were doing earlier? More, most, nothing. None of the rules earlier told. It is not following any of the rules. Or one more example is bad, worse, worst. So there are some adjectives that need not follow any of the rules. That can also happen children. Okay, using double comparison or superlative, this is also important. I will teach you in the next video. I hope till here all the things are clearer to you, and I hope it becomes easy for you for learning this part. The only trick here is children, practice. As much as you read more words, your vocabulary will be increased and you will get to know more words, so things will become more easier for you. Okay, and practice only makes a man perfect. I hope you all know this proverb. So here I am finishing up the video. I hope you like the video. Thank you.